So what is the significance of Brock Purdy's number 13 in relation to the next NFC winner since Super Bowl 16 at LA? I've got news for ya. It is the Dallas Cowboys that are going to be the next team to win the Super Bowl on the NFC side since the Rams did so at LA in Super Bowl 56. LA is 13. Dak Prescott improves to 1-3 in the divisional round to make it to the NFC Championship game. It's because Dallas also has Gematria 13. Now check this out. Kyle Shanahan, head coach of the 49ers, 1-2 in the NFC Championship game, falls to 1-3 in the NFC Championship game with number 13 after they fall to Dallas, which has Gematria of 13. The Dallas Cowboys, you see the wins that they have since losing against the 49ers. So it's 2, it's 7, it's going to be 10. Their 13th win since losing against the Niners is going to happen in the NFC Championship game against number 13. 13 wins for Dallas ever since the 42-10 game to make it to Super Bowl 58. This is what's happening for the Cowboys. Don't forget, the team that is hosting the Super Bowl, the Raiders, their last championship occurred while they were based at Los Angeles. So this is how we know the NFC is going to win it for the first time since Super Bowl 56 at LA. Andy Reid, born at LA, didn't make it to LA, but he is going to lose the Super Bowl for the NFC's next Super Bowl since at Los Angeles. And the guy that's going to do it is the LA-born owner, Jerry Jones. Born in 42, the Super Bowl on the 42nd day again. It's Dak Prescott, that's Gematria of 42. This is what's going to go down. Also, Mike McCarthy is going to win his first NFC Championship game ever since he won the Packers' 13th championship. So that is how Mike McCarthy ties into all this. And Coach Mike McCarthy will improve to 2-3 in the NFC Championship game. I remember his conference title games. He lost to the Giants. He beat the Bears. He lost against the Seahawks. He lost against the Falcons. So he's 1-3. He's going to be 2-3 when it's all said and done. And it's pretty easy to see what's going on right there. As far as 13 goes, 13 is significant to the Freemasons. They're 33 degrees in standard masonry. 13, when you divide it, equals .33. For Dak Prescott, he's going to win 2 more games on the road this year. He's won one playoff game on the road, so he's going to enter the playoffs with 32 road games. He's going to win the division. His 33rd road game is going to happen to make it to the Super Bowl. We all know how significant 33 is to the Freemasons. 0-2 against the Niners in the playoffs. He is 2-1 in the regular season, so he's going to prove the 3-3 against the 49ers. Even they throw it right in front of your face. 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's going to prove the 6-3 in the Super Bowl this year. The Niners, their winning streak literally occurred to improve the 6-3, and the Dallas Cowboys going to improve to 6-3 in the Super Bowl, and they do win it. And of course, I have documented before, the Niners won their first 3 games each with a total. They've scored 30 points in each of their first 3 games because the Cowboys win their first Super Bowl since Super Bowl 30. So that is the significance of that. And all of this is going to happen for the Niners' 13th playoff elimination since they last won the championship. So ever since beating the Chargers, there's 4, there's 5 right there, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's going to be their 13th playoff elimination since they last won the Super Bowl. It's Dallas. That's Gematria of 13. As far as the wins goes for the 49ers this year, we go to the 49ers. They're pretty much their schedule for this year. You'll see something too with the Cowboys playoff history in a second as well. So it's pretty obvious. The bye week, they're 5-3 because the Cowboys are 5-3 in the Super Bowl. First win of the winning streak, 6-3. Cowboys can end up being 6-3 in the Super Bowl. They're just throwing it right in front of your face. So their season's going to end 11 games after the bye, the Super Bowl on the 11th day. They're going to finish 10-1 after the bye. There's going to be a next champion of the NFC. Philadelphia won the NFC last year. Dallas is the next team to win. They'll ultimately finish 10-1 when they lose to the Cowboys. And the Cowboys win the Super Bowl 28 years later. Now, the funny thing is that the Cowboys' road record since they last won the championship is very, very, very significant. I don't mean to go to that page. But anyway, right here, 1995, it's 0-1, it's 0-2, it's 0-3, 0-4, 0-5, losing to the Vikings, 0-6, losing at the Packers, 0-7, 1-7, 1-8. So the Cowboys are 1-8 on the road in the playoffs since they last won the Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy would also enter the NFC Championship game with 18 road wins as Cowboys coach. And the Cowboys would enter the NFC Championship game with 18 consecutive home wins dating back to last year. Vegas is 18. Then the Dallas Cowboys can improve to 2-8 on the road in the playoffs ever since they last won the Super Bowl to make it to the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl 28 years later. Because Texas is the 28th admitted state. Dallas, Texas is 28. 49ers is 28. So the ERS is 15 and 4. That's 19. And the 9 gives you 19, then 28. So improve to 2-8 on the road since they last won the Super Bowl to make it back to the Super Bowl. 49ers is going to 28. Now going back to 13. Now remember, because it's going to be the first winner of the Super Bowl since over at LA. The Cowboys-Chiefs on Football Database, when we go to it, it would also be the 13th game between the Cowboys and the Chiefs. I've already documented just how significant the death of Norma Hunt is and all that, and the Chiefs' connections. The Chiefs started out in Dallas and all that, so it's ultimately going to tie into the first NFC winner of the Super Bowl since over at Los Angeles, California, and even his playoff record is 6-3. And the Cowboys, and we'll get to the significance of the 63 wins entering the Ravens game in a second. But here, it's pretty much showing to you exactly why the Cowboys are gonna win the Super Bowl. Now, I also would like to once again go back to the Raiders. How many wins have the Cowboys have had since the Raiders moved to Vegas? Because that's going to be significant too. So they're going to end the year with 13 wins in the regular season again. 42 regular season wins since the Raiders moved to Vegas. Their last championship as the LA Raiders. LA Raiders 42, same gematria as Dak Prescott. So Cowboys can win 42 regular season games since the Raiders were based at Vegas. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Now I'm on the right page. Disregard previous. I was on the Niners page. But that should lead you to the connection that they're going to go up against Dak Prescott. So 43 wins for the Cowboys since the Raiders moved to Vegas. It's Dallas Cowboys has 43, Las Vegas, Nevada 43, Dallas Cowboys 43, Rain Dakota 43. And then it's going to be 48 wins. Obviously, the last championship at the 48th state of Arizona. So yeah, I don't think the Niners will lose a game the rest of the regular season, but they'll lose to the Cowboys The 13 relates to his head coach. The 13 relates to the 13th playoff elimination for the 49ers since they last won the Super Bowl. The 13 ties into the 13th game between the Cowboys and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl when it's all said and done. So Kyle Shanahan will fall to 1-3 to fall to 1-3 in the NFC Championship game, losing to Dallas. Because remember, Kyle Shanahan, I want to make that point a little bit later. The next one I want to make. So obviously the 2-8 road record is going to be significant for the Dallas Cowboys. The NFC Championship game record for the 49ers since they last won the Super Bowl. Oh, 1 losing to the Packers. And, that's the thing about the Cowboys improving the 2-8 on the road. Mike McCarthy had to win on the road to make it to the playoffs with the Packers. It's Packers that's going to match 20. A former Packers coach can improve the Cowboys' road playoff record at 2-8 since they last won the title. Okay, so go be very analytical, obviously, in approaching it from many different angles. Going back to the list of 49ers seasons, lots of pages, obviously, to break down and decipher. 0-1, the NFC Championship game record since they last won the Super Bowl. 0-1, okay. 0-2, 1-2, 1-3, losing to the Seahawks. 2-3, 2-4, 2-5. Their 6th NFC Championship game loss for the Cowboys, 6th win against the Niners in the playoffs for the 6th road win of the season for the 6th Super Bowl championship. Okay, they had a little bit of a spell. I think I did say the home record for the 49ers ever since they moved into the new stadium. So yeah, their first home loss in the playoffs happening in their 6th home game at Levi's. It's all an occultic 6 ritual too, because when it's all said and done, 13 is the 6th prime number. So this is where we get the Cowboys and the 49ers both pursuing their 6th Super Bowl for the next NFC winner sits over at LA. So 13 being the 6th prime, but ultimately it's the Dallas Cowboys. And the biggest of all 13 connections is the Cowboys win the Super Bowl 13 years after they last hosted it. Super Bowl 45, the Super Bowl 58. That's what it's all about. Mike McCarthy did beat the Bears to make it to the Super Bowl. Bears 45. He makes it again to make the Super Bowl at Vegas. So there we have that angle too as well. In the Cowboys' home record since moving to Jerry World. The home playoff record at Jerry World. 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. It's gonna be 5-2. 4-2, then 5-2. 5-2 is the last NFC winner, Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles Rams gonna march up to the Cowboys' home record in the playoffs. Gonna be 5-2. Really. Pope has nothing to do with the 49ers and the same franchise logo. But Pope is 52 in 25. Cowboys 25th divisional crown. Part of the greater sacrifice. God is going to bless Dak Prescott, so to speak, after the death of two family members. It's going to be you can't really look at it as a blessing, but he will get blessed with ultimately the ultimate sacrifice of his mom and his brother losing. So, Mike McCarthy's going to be 5-2 in the playoffs with the Cowboys as a coach. It's going to happen on the day of the Vatican's foundation. But all the 13 connections still remain very real and very constant when you think about it deep down as you relate Andy Reid with the Chiefs falling victim in the Super Bowl, even though he didn't make it to the Super Bowl at Los Angeles for Andy Reid. That's the connection you have to make. You have to make the connection to the Super Bowl hosting their last championship as as a team based in Los Angeles. And of course, their last championship was 40 years ago. The Cowboys' 40th playoff win. Dak Prescott 40, that's one like that. He wins exactly 40 months after his ankle injury for the Cowboys' 40th playoff win. You got to connect the 40 there with the Raiders' last championship as Super Bowl hosts. Remember what I said about Coach Rich? It's very real. Break it down, 13.